It was the first after the score, get a fumble score again, and then there was also Bo's long touchdown run in the third quarter, I think it was. Far from a perfect performance, but a couple different times when you guys are able to kind of grab control and keep control and kind of let it keep it from getting away from you. I feel like you at least took advantage of some key moments that way.
Yeah, I think we definitely got to execute better as a team, as an offense specifically. But I think Bo did a great job on that play of just making something happen. That wasn't really the play call, but he just kind of made some plays happen with his feet. So that was fun to see. He got us out of a lot of inopportune scenarios. So he did a good job at controlling us and making sure we were all on the same page and really just kind of keeping us at ease, because we definitely got frustrated a little bit there, but he did a good job at keeping us calm down.
Yeah, how do you guys as a unit come out of this game feeling with some of the penalties, giving up a sack finally?
Yeah, I think the penalties are the glaring issue. You can't shoot ourselves in the foot. That starts with me too. There's some on the RPOs where we're downfield and kind of got to live with those because that's the run pass option world there. But some of the pre-snap ones, we got with the refs. They were kind of mimicking our cadence there for a little bit, so we gave them on that. And then once we kind of got that taken care of, they stopped making those calls. So that was good.
The guys who would have had a particular personal motivation after last year, I think you'd be near the top of the list since you missed it.
Yeah.
What does this one mean after last year?
It was huge because it's a game that I wasn't able to participate in last year, and it was obviously really frustrating last year to have that loss. So I think coming into the game, it was it was kind of a big chip on our shoulder. Like, hey, what happened last year? We can't be that team. We try not to think about a whole lot of using last year as motivation, but at the same time, we all knew in the back of our heads, like, this is a special game for us.
Obviously, it's a little early still, but you've been around enough to know that the trips to Arizona seem to always be a little crazy. What's the first thing you're saying to these guys after film and reviewing this, like, to set the agenda for this week?
Pac-12 is crazy, so we got to be ready for every single opponent. Arizona, from what I've seen, just on the TV copies of the game, is a talented team. They do a lot of good stuff on defense, so we really got to be ready for this challenge. And playing an away game anywhere is really tough, and especially that place.
4 straight wins, so a lot to celebrate the last few weeks. But it does seem like with the penalties tonight, you've come out of each of those wins also feeling like, hey, there's a couple things that we really want to focus on. How do you feel like this group's done in general in terms of kind of celebrating success, which you want to do, but also feeling like, hey, we got to hone in on these things too?
I think we still haven't played a complete game, especially about just talking about offensive perspective. But I think for us, it's finding stuff, and we won the game, but we can't ignore the penalty. So I think it's been like that every single game where it's and even the loss of Georgia, you find stuff that we did well. Hey, we can build on this, but we got to really improve on these areas. And after every single win, you really got to find stuff that, hey, we won the game, but against another opponent or in a different scenario, this is not going to fly. So defense did a great job today of getting us out of those scenarios. They did a phenomenal job, stopping the run, getting us the ball, I guess, in a good position. They kind of kept it back up. So that was really, really impressive too. So they helped us get out of scenarios too. But we got to be better as an offense, which is more discipline.
I'm sure you guys don't care much, but for Bo to be the first player on the team this year to rush for 100 yards in a game, what does that say about his ability?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's that's impressive. That's just a testament to him and how he can make plays go. We didn't block perfectly tonight, but he made a lot of stuff happen, so that was good to see.
9.5 yards per carry for your group. I mean, what does that feel like as an offensive line when you're in a groove in the run game? Do you almost want to run it every single play when you're in a groove like that?
Yeah, I think so. You got to play hot hand, and hey, we're running the ball really well. And I think last week it was kind of different. It was come out in the second half, hey, we're going to air the ball out. And like, okay, cool. So we just had to get pass protection right. And this week, we really had to lean on the run. So, it's just whatever the offense is doing that day, just kind of feeding off that. So I think, it's encouraging, but we still got a lot of stuff to clean up on the offensive line, and we'll get it right, ready for everything.
You never want to see something like what happened on the sideline in the second quarter go down, but your players ejected. Does that fire up the offense or just the team as a whole anymore to know that, it's now your time to play for your brother?
Yeah, at the same time, I just fighting is not a part of the culture we build here, and I know tempers get hot on the sideline, but that's something you never want to see as a team, because I don't want to be the team that fights and stoops down to another team's level. So regardless of who started what, we can't buy into that and kind of get sucked into that. So.
what does it say about this team to, sort of battle through that adversity and to not let that, spoil that drive for you guys?
You know, that was encouraging, but we just can't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties and especially stupid stuff like that. That's just after the play. It's just not necessary.
You mentioned you guys kind of want to try to work on some stuff on the offensive line you're blocking, even though you had almost 10 yards to carry. What are some of those specific things you guys want to continue to improve upon?
I think just technique and stuff from my perspective, just getting our combos right. Continue to work on the technique that Coach Glenn teaches. And, he's been a really great teacher. I know a lot of guys talk about him as a recruiter, but he's a phenomenal teacher and a phenomenal football coach, and he does a really good job at getting us ready for every single game. So I think he's a big part of our success that people don't really talk about is how good he is as a teacher. And making sure we know the technique going into the game, we know the fronts that we're going to see going into the game. So he's done a great job, and he deserves just as much credit as the offensive line, the running backs and quarterbacks, all the guys involved in the run game. But he's done a great job of making sure that we're ready for the game. So just continuing to buy into the technique that he's teaching, and just trusting each other that we're going to get the combo blocks right. And just being really critical. I think I'm a really critical person, so if we may have had a great run, but my first step wasn't right, then I'm gonna be pissed off about that and kind of thinking about that, just hoping to get it right.
You guys were up by 3-4 scores at points, but Dillingham never let off the gas. You guys are still throwing the ball down the field, still creative plays, explosive plays. What's that like to have an offensive coordinator who's willing to do that even when you're up by 25, 30 points?
Yeah, we know that games are never over, especially in college football. Teams come back. We came back last week, scored 22 points or something in 2 minutes and some seconds. But I think for us, it's just we know he's an aggressive play caller, and we love that because then we're going to take shots down the field. We just got to continue to give them time to throw the ball, and we just know that he's always going to want to pass the ball. So.
How fun is it to block for a guy like Bucky? I mean, he seems to have a unique ability to find holes that didn't even look like they were there, and also the breaking tackles, the balance, all that stuff. How fun of a guy is he to block for?
He's really fun. I think all of our running backs run really hard. It's cool to see him because there might not be a hole there, but we may not got as much movement as we had wanted, but he's going to find a way to get through there and make him do big plays. So I think him and all the running backs have done a great job, and Coach Locke has done a great job of getting them right. We spend a lot of time together each week going over the run fits. We do a lot of pass pro stuff with the running backs. So I think that's kind of unique. So we built kind of a bond together where that's like it's kind of us five and the running backs and quarterbacks. We're all involved in the run game. So we've done a great job at creating that as like a cohesive unit, not just the offensive line.
Times you're like, how did he end up over there?
yeah. I know sometimes we have a play call and he's all the way on the other side of the field. And a lot of that has to do with the action in the backfield. Whether we're doing a sweep the other way or whatever it is. And so as an offensive line, that can get kind of weird because you're wondering why guys are working over the top and the play's all the way over there. And so we don't always know exactly what's happening in the backfield in terms of reads and what's going on there. But that's it's really cool to see all those guys have a lot of success.
All right, thanks, Alex.
Thank you.